Welcome to Confessions of a Stenographer, where we are focusing on all things steno and a legal profession. Thanks for tuning in. I am your co-host, Bryanna Jefferson, and I am a freelance reporter out of New York City. I graduated from Plaza College in Queens, New York in 2019, so I'm very new to the court reporting field. I am so excited to be co-hosting today, and I can't wait to talk with our special guest. Today, I will be interviewing the one and only Linda Mac, aka Linda McSwain. This month, we are celebrating Black History Month, and we are showcasing our legends that are in the profession. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Linda McSwain. Hi, Linda. Are you ready to confess?
Why, yes, I am.
Great. I'm excited. Okay. So who is Linda McSwain?
Oh, Bryanna. Who is Linda McSwain? Let me see. Okay. Well, I know. You really want to know? Well,
I want to know.
You want to know? I must confess. I was born and raised in a small town by the name of Lufkin, Texas. I had wonderful parents who I know are still smiling down on me from heaven. I am an RPR, and I hold both Alabama and Mississippi certifications. I am an official court reporter in Pascagoula, Mississippi for the 16th Chancery District. I am most of all, Bryanna, a mother of 3 wonderful children. I have 2 boys and 1 girl. My oldest is a psychologist for the Atlanta School District. My Joshua is in his 2nd year of law school in Jackson, Mississippi. And our Kayla Grace is in her 1st year of nursing school at Bishop State College. I wish it was her 5th year because she'd be out of my pocket, wouldn't she? But but last but not least, I am the wife of the most amazing man that God created just for me. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
Linda, if you don't drop those credentials like a boss,
I know.
Great. So I would love to know, how did you get into stenography? Did you have a dream job prior to discovering steno?
Well, let me see. I learned of stenography through a lady visiting our school when I was in high school. And she was from the Court Reporting Institute of Dallas. And to be truthful, I really had blocked her out when she said we had to write 225 words per minute. And we were in typing class at that time. So, that was back in the day, because I don't think they even have typing anymore in this day and age. And so we were trying to get to 75 words per minute. And not only to mention, she came on a Monday after we had won one of the biggest football games that Friday night. Now, if you've ever watched Friday Night Lights, that's a little small town in Texas. So, we're not listening to her really, but I kept her brochure. And I remember, my mother always wanted all of her girls to go into nursing or the medical field. Well, I'm the youngest of 6, so 4 girls and 2 boys. So I started school for physical therapy. And so in my 2nd semester, I just felt as if I was supposed to have been doing something else. I mean, it's just like, I just did not like this. It's like, I know it's something else out there for me. And I remember going home from school that evening, and I've always said it was God, because I know it had to have been. Because who keeps paperwork anymore? And I glanced down, and at the bottom of my shelf was that brochure. So I read it, and I went into my parents' room, and I told them, I said, this is what I want to be. I want to be a court stenographer. Look at this brochure. And of course, my mom wasn't too happy. But my dad, he spoiled me rotten to the core. So he looked at me, because I was trying to convince my mom, look at it, Mom. And her whole thing was, it's you can't get a degree with this. This is a technical school. And I'm like, well, but still, I can still go get my degree. No. But my dad, he said, this might actually be good for her, because she's always been so curious, and she's just as nosy as I don't know what. So, so I packed my bags and I headed to Dallas, Texas, and I started court reporting school in the fall.
Nice, nice. Okay. So I know in school, you said in high school that you guys were doing typing classes. Um,
Mhm.
Around my mother told me that they used to have shorthand classes when she was in school. Was that something that you guys had as well? It
No, we
wasn't
didn't have.
stenography. Oh, okay.
No, it was just typing classes. Like you had to learn how to type 70 to 75 words per minute. And
Okay.
just learning how to type because eventually you're going to be working on the computer or what have you.
Yeah.
But I don't even think they even have that nowadays, to be honest with you.
When I graduated from court reporting school, that was actually one of the requirements. We had to be able to type at about 75 words per minute. And you think nothing of it because everybody thinks they type fast until you have
Mm-hmm.
like until you have a timer and it's
Yeah.
like correcting your accuracy.
Yeah. So it's like,
So I think
oh,
that was
no.
harder than an actual test. That was
Oh,
harder than an
yeah.
actual speed test for stenography.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes. So
Definitely.
after completing school, did you go into freelance or did you become an official? What was that like?
Well, I have a couple of stories. After I finished school, I was trying to pass my Texas CSR. Now, while in school, I would get all of my takes, no problem. I mean, the lits were always the ones that I would get nervous about. But the Q&As and the JCs, you can give me that all day. And I was okay. So my dean at the time, Miss Rhonda Vecchio at Arlington Court Reporting College, because I switched over to Arlington because I moved to Arlington later on in the year, suggested that I work in some of the states that didn't need a certification to kind of get my jitters under control.
Okay.
So she set up an interview in Shreveport, Louisiana, where at that time, I guess, I could work with a hardship or something until I passed either one of them or what have you. It's been so long ago. But that interview didn't go so well. I mean, this is a true story. Kid you not.
Oh,
Because this is confessions. Is this true confessions?
this is confessions, so you got to be
Okay,
real.
I've got to be real. So my best friend lived and still lives in Shreveport. And so I traveled there and I'm sitting out in the lobby of the court reporting firm, and people kept peeking around the corner and going back in and going back out and, looking at like, oh my God, who is that? That kind of thing. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, why are they staring at me? I'm thinking, is there something on my face? What's going on?
Mm.
So finally, after about 30 minutes, I kid you not, 30 minutes, someone finally came out, and this beautiful lady, she came out and she spoke to me and she said, well, the first thing she said, I just want to let you know that we cannot hire you. And I said, I mean, she did not interview me now. She just said, we cannot hire you. And I said, now wait for it. Wait for it,
Mm-hmm.
Bryanna. Are you waiting for it?
Okay. I'm
Okay.
ready.
You ready? Okay. She said,
I'm ready.
we can hire you. Miss Vecchio did not tell us that you were a Black reporter. And we have never hired a
Stop.
Black, I kid you not, never hired a Black reporter. And she apologized. And I remember my words to her. She apologized. And I remember telling her, please do not apologize for being ignorant. And I
Right.
waltzed out of there just as professional as I waltzed in. And I was just
With your
shaking.
head
I was
held
just
high.
shaking. Yes, I was shaking the whole
Okay.
entire time. And of course, we didn't
Oh.
have cell phones. So I'm crying, and I get to my friend's house, and the first person I called was my dad. I mean, I'm getting choked up right now. I remember I called my dad and I was crying. I was like, I can't believe it. And he says, okay, get yourself together. And he just let me cry it out. And he said, this is your first time encountering racism to the fullest. Now, it won't be your last, but you will get better how to handle circumstances like that in the future. And you know what? I have. I have really, those words are still just embedded in me. It won't be
Of
your
course.
last, but you got to keep moving. So that's what
Yeah.
I did.
I'm
But
so
I
sorry
did
that
I did
happened
work
to
different
you.
places. But things happen for a reason because they only make you stronger. Is that a song? That's a song, isn't it?
It might be.
That's a
It might be.
song. Yes, yes.
But I hope she's eating her words now, and I hope that she may have possibly heard about you and all your success.
I hope so too, but she probably don't remember because my maiden name, I use my maiden name. so,
Oh.
so, she, so she didn't remember. She didn't remember, but that's okay. That's okay. We're good,
That's,
Bryanna.
we are good, absolutely. So we are now celebrating Black History Month. Why should we all be celebrating Black History Month? And why is it important to celebrate our history?
You know, Bryanna, in my home, every day is Black History Month. Every day.
That's right.
My husband is an educator, and my children would always say, you know, if they ask a question about something, blah, 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 and he'll start giving them the answer. And then they'll go, oh, Lord, Lord,
They know it's going to be a
here go
speech,
another
right?
Black History moment. Here go another Black History moment. So they truly understand why we march every year for Martin Luther King Day. And we also do a lot of community services on that day. So it should be celebrated by everyone. And we have to also remember that Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X are not the only ones that made an impact in our history. But those are the three that stand out the most. But oh, I tell you, just learning about Black history should be on everyone's radar. Everyone should know about Black history. I mean, it's a great
100%.
way to teach everyone of the contributions that Black people made to this world. And we will continue to strive and make history. So it's everyone should be celebrating Black History Month.
I agree. If we don't tell our story and our history, we allow other people to misinterpret it, and they tell what they want people to know. So I
And
think
that's
it's
so
very
true.
important that we. It is. I think
That's
it's very
true.
important that we celebrate it.
Mm-hmm.
So for Black History Month, you put together a phenomenal feature in the JCR of African Americans that are in the profession. Can you share what you did for those that may not have received their JCR yet?
Well, was serving on the NCRA board as a director from, I think it was 2015 through 2018. We were at a board meeting and we were talking about court reporting and captioning week. And I sat there and I'm listening, and then all of a sudden I just said, you know, why is it that we are not celebrating Black History Month during the month of February? I mean, we should spotlight Black stenographers during the month of February. So after my years of
It's a great idea.
I know, and they were like, you know, Linda Mac, we never thought about that, and it, you know, and really and truly, I don't think it was like a, you know, Black or white thing or what have you, or they were just didn't want to do it.
Right, it wasn't malicious.
It's just, yeah, it was just like we never thought about that. What a great idea. So after my years of service in 2018, you know, I wanted to take a break from NCRA for a couple of years. And I know Jacqueline Smith, she continued to highlight and spotlight members in February. So in May of 2020, I called Jackie and I said, okay, I'm back. You know, I took a break, but I wanted the entire journal dedicated to Black stenographers for the month of February. And she was like, hey, okay, you know, if you help me do it. I said, no, I got it. Just let me do it. I got you. So
you already had the idea in your head, right?
Yeah, I was like, I got you, Jackie. I got you. She's like, okay, I can't believe this. So I contacted probably about 22 reporters. I think more than that. And I know that we have more than that. And, you know, that I should have, that I could have, or that I would have asked. But this is only the beginning. So for each interview, I matched it with either a civil rights song or like an empowerment song for the title. So each title of the interview had a song behind it. And the rest is history. And so we also place all the songs on Spotify. So we've made history in having a full JCR dedicated to Black professionals for the month of February along with the
With the whole
Spotify
playlist.
list. Yeah,
You curated your whole playlist.
A whole playlist. But I have, the thing is, I could not have done this without the help of the entire JCR committee and staff, especially Jackie. Jackie did a wonderful job, putting the pictures together and all of that. They rocked it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They rocked it, and they helped me fulfill the vision.
It was a wonderful issue, and the cover was beautiful.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah. I kind of want to make mine a hard copy. I got to figure out how to do that.
You should, and frame it. And you have to frame it because you did such an amazing job with it. And ladies and gentlemen, we will take a quick commercial break.
Hi, my name's Christopher Day. I've been a court reporter for 11 years. I've seen how easy it is for our profession to get buried by lots of misconceptions in the media. That's one of the reasons I started Stenograph.com, a blog all about court reporting and related issues. For example, maybe you saw in the news that court reporters were only 80% accurate when tested on a specific English dialect. Readers of my blog know that 80% is actually twice as good as the average person and up to 4 times as good as automatic speech recognition. With no dialect training, we're the best. With dialect training, we're unstoppable. The news wouldn't report that, so I did. If you want honest reporting of industry events, topics, and opinions, check out Stenograph.com or search Christopher Day blog on the web. You can subscribe, share stories, or even approach me about becoming a guest writer. Now, let's get you back to Confessions of a Stenographer.
Getting involved. Now, Linda, why is it important to serve on a state and national level?
Oh my goodness, so many reasons why. But the thing that really sticks out to me is that everybody has a talent. We just need to see your talent. And it is important for reporters to perform duties and or services on the state and the national level. We need you. We need your talent once again. We need your time and we need your service. Some people have never, ever attended a national conference, and they only attend the state conference because they need their hours. But to each his own. I'm not going to, fuss at you about that. But all but all you can do, like as an officer, or if you're on a committee, or if you're a member, or what have you, all you can do is just continue to put on great conferences where maybe one day something would just click and they'll say, I want to be a part of that committee, or I would like to serve on that particular board. But not only do you learn a lot while serving, but you get to know your peers. And I always tell people, kind of test the borders, volunteer to serve like on a church board, PTA, different associations and or organizations. And
get
after
your feet wet a little bit.
Yeah, get your feet wet and try and see if this is what I want to do. Because, you're going to run into, I call them Mr. and Mrs. Board that think they know everything. But when you know that's you just dominating every single thing. But what you have to understand is that there's no I in team. So you have to work together in order to make a difference in any and every situation, or else your board will fail. I mean, you can't have somebody that just dictating everything, and some boards are like that. But just get your feet wet, like you said, Bryanna. And after that, I'm sure you're ready to volunteer your services. And I'm sure that, NCRA would be ready for you. Your state board would be ready for you. And sometimes it's just a mere fact where, I have the thing where it's like the song, Put Me In, Coach, I'm ready to play. You know that song, Put Me In, Coach, I'm ready to play. Sometimes that person could be sitting over there on the bench and wanting to participate. But if your head is so high up, that, you never look down to see that person, then, you might have missed, or we might have missed as a member of NCRA, that person's talent. So sometimes you have to come down and, get to know people on different levels, or else you'll never succeed as a board. So just get your feet wet, and we're ready to just be ready to serve. And we're here.
That was great advice, especially hearing it as a new reporter, because you hear, national levels or committees and things like that. It becomes very intimidating, especially when a lot of the members are individuals who have been, a court reporter like you for numerous years, or they've served on so many committees. So they're familiar with the ins and outs of, national boards and state boards like that. So thank you for that. And I will definitely, as a new court reporter, I will definitely take heed and, try to see where I can fit in and things like that. So Linda, you've already mentioned that you were on the NCRA board as a director. So have you served on a state and national level? If so, what boards were they?
Yes, I have served on both. For the state level, I started out, like I was informing you before, start out small, like on the committees. And I remember that I wanted to start on the convention committee. And so I started with Alabama on the convention committees. Then I served as secretary and director 4, and vice president, president-elect, and then president, which I was the first Black president for Alabama Court Reporters Association. And while serving as president-elect and president, you get a chance to attend NICSA, which NICSA is the National Congress State Association, but it used to be the National Committee State Association. And with that, you automatically attended boot camp because you were a delegate and or an alternate for your state association. At boot camp, you learn so much. You learn how to lobby for your state. You learn how to lobby for your profession. And I love that, because when things came up as far as maybe different states were trying to get certifications, or you're trying to get a raise or what have you, boot camp teaches you how to lobby. So that is really good for NCRA to have that tool. So while I was serving on NICSA, I was later voted in as the co-chair for NICSA. And then I interviewed for a director and was selected to serve a 3-year term. So when I look back on it, Bryanna, and I sat down one day, I said, God, I have been serving both state and national on committees and being an officer or what have you since my Kayla Grace was 4. She was then 16, and when I decided to go ahead and not move up, because I wanted to, at 16, a girl at 16 needed all of my time. And so she needed all of my time. So I decided to kind of just, step back for a little bit until she actually graduates from high school. And so that's that.
You have had quite an illustrious career, and you have been booked and busy.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been it sounds like it's been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Okay. So what are some of the benefits of being a member and supporting the state and national associations?
Well, I mean, you have to basically remember that we're saving our profession is one. You need to know what's going on within our profession. Some people are just working and not realizing that, while you were sleeping and not advocating for the profession that you say you love so much. We are starting to have more layoffs. People are starting to lose their jobs. But imagine if, say, for instance, if you look at our statistics, they say that we have 32,000 stenographers, right?
Yeah.
But today, there are approximately what is it, 32? Well, I said, 32,000. But the members, I think we only have about around 12,797. let's say.
Wow.
Now, the number
That's a
of
big
that,
discrepancy.
yeah. So if you have the number of court reporter members, only 9,905. So you have like NCRA have 12,000 members, but only 9,000 of those are members. So where are the other 19,000 stenographers? We need them to be members. And a lot of them are not members of the National Court Reporters Association. So you need that. Imagine if we had all those reporters, being members of NCRA. And if we pulled together and we attended these conferences and we attended all of our state conferences and we joined all these committees to continue to fight the good for our profession, we would be a force to be reckoned with. But we need more members. We need more members.
I was told while I was in school, they always mentioned the gap in when court reporting was very popular, and then it kind of not went away, but there was a big boom with court reporters, and then it slowed down, and then it started to boom again. So I guess there's when I was in school, there was a lot of people in school across the nation. So there's this big gap. So now a lot of reporters are retiring, and now firms and courts are looking for people to fill these spots. Do you think that may have something to do with the lack of members?
Well, one of the problems too with the courts that are looking for people to fill the spots, you have like the little rural areas, like even for the state of Mississippi, we have rural areas that people, they can't get a live court reporter. So what are we having to do, or what are they having to do? What do they have to do, Bryanna? They're having to go to what? Digital recording.
They have to, yeah.
They're having to go to something. Somebody's got to capture the record. And it's just not Mississippi. It's all over. I mean, you have, say for instance, like right now, I'm in my 50s, and I started reporting when I was 22, 23, something like that. But just like Shanice and I were talking the other day, I mean, our numbers, we're getting ready to, we're seasoned reporters. We're not going to say we're older reporters. We're seasoned.
No. Seasoned.
We're
got a little sprinkle on it.
Reporter. But we're getting ready to retire eventually. So therefore, we gotta basically pass the baton on, but we need somebody to pass it to.
Right.
So
right.
It's a lot that we have to do, and that we can do together if we all work together. But I think a lot of times, this is my thinking. Sometimes it's just like, okay, I am a captioner. I am a cart. I am a freelancer. I am an official. But guess what? We all write on the same little tiny machine.
Yes.
So we're all family. It may be different branches, but we are all family. That's one group with different branches.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. So steno lovers, it's now time for your steno news that you can use. John Drip, take it away.
Hi, I am John Drips, Vice President of Finance and Human Resources for the National Court Reporters Association. It's time to shed the winter blues and earn some CEUs at the NCRA Spring Fling 2021, happening on March 20th. This all-day event features sessions on education, financial planning, government relations, NCRE Strong, and more. There will be 8 sessions available, and each session is worth 0.1 CEU. Find out more at ncra.org. The pandemic did not stop 2021 Court Reporting and Captioning Week. Check out the posts with the hashtag CRCW2021 on social media, or go to thejcr.com to see how creative folks got with observing the week. And remember, just because the week is over, the resources on the NCRA website can be used year-round to promote the profession. Nominations and applications are open for several recognition awards and student scholarships. These include CASE scholarships, NCRA A to Z scholarships, the CASE Award of Excellence, Fellow of the Academy of Professional Reporters, and NCRA's Distinguished Service Award. The deadline for the Stenograph Milton H. Wright Memorial Scholarship has been extended to March 1st. November 2021 is a very important deadline everyone needs to know. It is the exam retention deadline. All pre-existing past test histories, any earned prior to October 1, 2018, will have an expiration date of November 1, 2021. Beginning with the start of the exam retention policy on October 1, 2018, any required education component or a skills or written knowledge test has an expiration date of 3 years from the date of the official pass. This is a deadline you don't want to miss. If you are working on a certification, don't let any of your past certification test history expire. And that's your Steno news that you can use.
So Linda, you now have a lot of new professionals getting involved and adding value to this profession with new ideas. What do you have to say about this new generation and the movement they are creating?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love the passion behind it. But, let's not steer too far ahead and say it's a new generation. Everyone has the talent and everyone is creative in their own way. But you just have to find it and share it with your peers. And if anyone has an idea for this profession, by all means, we all would like to hear about it. We all would like to see what you can do. Remember, it starts with us, nobody else but us and our profession. So we have to continue to strive and make it better for every single one of us. So bring those talents on, you new professionals. Remember, like I told you before, there's no I in team. So we're going to continue to work together.
Yes, we'll try. I'm definitely new and I don't know, I think maybe we have ideas and we're maybe scared or we don't think it's going to work or it may not work, but you never know unless we try, unless we speak up and say something.
And you got to do that. You've got to do that. And sometimes, when people say, oh, there's no need sometimes to reinvent the wheel. You can just make it better. There's no need to start all over. You can just add to it. You understand? Right. So bring those new ideas and that, be creative, and we all are going to benefit from whatever you have. So let's rock it, new professionals. Let's do
try to do it. So Linda, this is the question I am most excited about, and I could not wait to ask you. What message would you like to give to new professionals and students?
Ooh, let me see. I know that you hear, and I think we said it earlier, that our profession is a dinosaur and don't expect for it to be here very long. I heard the same exact information in the 90s. And we are here to stay, but we need for you to step up to the plate as well. Become a member of NCRA, and like we just stated before, bring your new ideas, bring your talent, and step up to your state association. Bring your new idea and bring your talent. Because the thing is, Bryanna, we cannot work and we cannot do it without you, because y'all are the future. So therefore, you're very creative. I mean, I'm looking at Shanice, I'm looking at Marguerite, I'm looking at so many other people that are just doing the most. But it's time that everyone sees what they're doing, not just a select few, but everyone. But you can do it, Bryanna.
Thank you. We'll try. I have another question to ask you. So you have so many credentials and it is so impressive. As a new reporter who has come out of school and, we're new to the freelance world, one, how important are the credentials? Do you think how important do you think they are? And then what process or what advice would you give to new reporters who, are out of test mode and then starting over for, tests and things like that, certifications, it becomes a little nerve wracking. We get the test jitters, our fingers go all over the place. Do you have any advice on what steps you should take to try to get your credentials and how important it is?
I think that everyone should at least try to get their RPR. If you can get your RPR, I think that is great. If you want to go further, I think that's even better. Some people have continued to, keep moving up and keep moving up. And I think I was speaking with someone the other day about this, about the credentials, basically. It helps you, but the thing is that, because I shouldn't say only have, but I have my RPR. I'm very proud of my RPR. Now, did I actually strive for my merit or what have you? No, I did not. Because when I was practicing for my RMR, I hurt my rotator cuff.
Oh, no.
So it's like, okay, do I want to keep trying to get certified or have one arm working? No, I need to slow it down. So to each is on, basically. If you can get those certifications, by all means, get those certifications if you can. And if you just only have your state, like I stated before, strive for that RPR, at least strive for that.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely take a note of that. Okay, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break.
Christopher Day again. Just wanted to take the time to share a little more about my blog at Stenograph.com. Not only do I have factual reporting, but I also dive into matters of opinion or conclusions to be drawn from the facts. For example, maybe you saw online that an automatic speech recognition company raised millions of dollars and was set to disrupt the court reporting industry. One of my posts dives right in on that. If they had a product like that, we know it would be bought out because industry giants have spent billions of dollars on far less impressive computer programs. That's just one of the ways we know they're not even close to what court reporters can do. If you like critical thinking and want to get a fresh perspective on topics like this, just make sure to check out Stenograph.com. Have a great suggestion for my resource page? Write me at chris@Stenograph.com. Together, we can build the industry and platform amazing content just like the podcast you're listening to now.
Hey, Linda. So outside of court reporting, what are your hobbies? When you turn off your steno time, what else does Linda enjoy doing?
Linda loves to come in her she room and have a glass of red wine without anybody interrupting her. I do love my family time, and I love traveling when I'm able to. It's like COVID, go away. I love hanging with other couples and, going out on date nights. I love hanging out with my children and we're playing board games, what have you. But, a lot of times I just love sitting down and watching a great movie. I love it.
Nice. Just a little unwind time.
Yes.
Working hard, get you a she room. I can't wait.
Get your she room.
Yes. So are you proud of this profession?
I am very proud about this profession and what it stands for. I really am proud of the profession. When I go to some of the schools and talk to I try and go to the inner schools because I look at where I don't think we're going there enough to talk to them. Because when the kids basically, when they, sometimes you have to get their attention because the first question they ask you is, how much money do you make?
Right.
That's the first question. And I'm like, did I ask that question when the lady came to talk to us? I don't think so. So I have to kind of sometimes get to another level and kind of talk to them. But I love going to the inner schools and talking to some of the students there about our profession because it is a great profession.
I am guilty of the money question.
Yeah.
I will say when I first found, well, it wasn't a question, but I think I was interning in a courthouse and then somebody pointed out the stenographer and was like, oh, she gets paid great. And I was like, oh, that
Yeah.
was interesting.
And so that's what
But
turned you on into court reporting, because you was figuring out how much they made.
I wanted to be a lawyer at first.
Really?
Yes. I wanted to be a lawyer at first, and then it didn't happen, but I was still interested in the legal system and, the aspects of it and, the steps. And I went to visit and saw the machine and fell in love.
Well, you might go back. You might decide that you want to be an attorney later on.
I love my little machine. So has this profession been good to you? We already know this.
It's funny that you asked that question, because my husband and I were just talking about this the other day, and it has really been great, not only for me, but for me to be able to raise our children and be able to attend all of their activities when they needed me. I was that mom who had, the SUV with all the basketball boys in it, driving them to this game, to that game. I was that mom, the cheer mom that had, all the pom-poms and everything, and it's like, I was that mom. I can truly say that I was that mom and still had the best profession in the world. So
it was a good balance.
It was a good balance. It really was, and still is.
Linda, please explain this profession in one word.
In one word, I am going to say optimistic.
Nice.
Just being hopeful and confident about our future.
And do you have any last closing remarks about the profession of court reporting?
Well, I think I've really talked a lot about the profession, but I really want to thank you, Bryanna. I've enjoyed our talk. I have enjoyed our confession.
I have enjoyed your confession, and I love speaking with you. I learned so much.
Well, thank you. And of course, I cannot leave without thanking my little precious angel, Shawnice. I mean, she makes me proud every day. And
the reason why we met. Yes.
I know, we love her. We love her. I tell you.
Yes, we do.
And just to all of the reporters, remember once again that it starts with us. Be the face of change, make a difference in our profession, and continue to be all that you can be for our profession. And that is my confession.
Great. I would love to thank Shawnice for allowing me to interview you, Linda. I had an amazing time doing this. And I would like to thank everyone that took the time to check out the podcast. This platform was designed just for you and to add value to our profession. Stay motivated and encouraged.